Shalom, shalom, family, and aloha from Maui, Hawaii. This is your sister Chayah with the Melchizedek News, Top 7 and 7-ish for Tuesday, May 28th. I pray that you all are well, and I pray that you had a pleasant 3-day weekend. This is the Melchizedek Network, the network that represents for the King of Kings. All right, all praises to the Most High, for he is worthy. We're going to start with the weather because there has been just so much over the last few days. There is a lot currently. And as I do this report, family, power outages. Yes, that's right. It's around 1 p.m. Texas time. And I'm looking at poweroutage.us, and there is about 800,000 plus customers in Texas without power. There is 73,000 plus in the Kentucky area, as well as 40,000 plus in Arkansas, 20,000 plus in West Virginia, and 19,000 plus in Missouri. So these storms are continuing to wreak havoc on many communities. And we're going to start with the weather and give you all an update. I did speak to one of my cousins, cousin Mia, over in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and she says she's without power right now, but she's okay. So that's good to hear. Let's start with an update on the weather for this Tuesday, shall we?
I've got one that can see.
You doggone right you do.
There's going to be another batch of storms that will form a little bit later on. Now, this severe thunderstorm watch that's out right now, which includes Dallas, even though Dallas doesn't have a threat from this particular line of storms anymore, I'm sure they'll start to shave that off from the north. That's just for the line of storms that's going on right now. There's another batch of storms that's going to fire up in West Texas a little bit later on in the day. But look at what this line of storms did, Britta. You remember what the power outages were not
we
long
went
ago?
from 40,000 to almost 600,000 in less than an hour.
Yeah.
That's a huge spike. But, I mean, we've have observations of winds gusting over 77 miles per hour. We have observations of tree damage, which thus can, of course, take down power lines. But right now, 45% of Rockwell County is without power. Yeah, it's not surprising when a batch of storms with consistent 70-plus mile-an-hour winds goes through a big metro area that you see that many power outages. But
yes, family, as you can see, I mean, these winds, not to mention the tornadoes, but just the winds that have been going through different states, different communities, wiping just small towns just off the map. That's what's going on, and we're seeing it. I know many of you have saw the footage over the last few days, over the past few weeks, just as Sister Chayah has seen. And it's just so much going on, and that's why here at the Melchizedek Network, the hashtag is Pray for All, because prayer is needed. We are in a very dire, critical hour. Critical. The birth pains are increasing. I want to talk about some other world news and things that are happening in regards to the weather in other parts of the world, because there was a cyclone, and I wasn't even aware of this, but let me share this information with you all. That was just a snippet of some footage from Bangladesh. There was a cyclone that hit that area. As you can see, just the areas where the farmland, it just looks catastrophic. And if you think that's something, family, this is some footage out of Papua New Guinea. Man, a landslide that just buried thousands of people.
The Papua New Guinea government says a massive landslide on Friday buried more than 2,000 people alive. That number much higher than first reported. The bodies of only 6 people have been recovered so far. International correspondent Laura Westbrook has more from Hong Kong.
Landslides, cyclones, tornadoes, fires, flooding in South America. So much, family. It continues. going to bring it back to the U.S., and there's some breaking news in regards to a plane engine catching fire. Yes, at O'Hare Airport. What's that about?
Start at 4 with breaking news out of O'Hare Airport. Plane traffic briefly halted this afternoon after a United Airlines flight had engine trouble. The FAA says Flight 2091 that was supposed to take off for Seattle aborted takeoff due to an engine fire around 2 this afternoon. The fire was already out by the time emergency crews arrived, and the plane was towed back to the gate. United Airlines tells us no one was hurt and passengers were being put on a different plane to make their trip, and delays were minimal.
Watch breaking news on YouTube.
Yep, family. I've been hearing just so much, and I know many of you all have as well, about these planes. Like planes having turbulence, engine issues, doors falling off. We're going to be talking about that later on today on Let's Talk. So join me this afternoon. There's already the link posted on my channel here on YouTube. We're going to be talking about all of the current events, these planes, what's going on with these tornadoes later on today. But meanwhile, we got that situation. You know, this is the week, and it's supposed to be today, but I guess we'll see with the closing arguments on this Trump trial. Man, I'm expecting something really crazy to happen this week, you all. Check this out.
Closing arguments are set to begin today in former President Donald Trump's New York hush money trial. Both sides will make their final pitches to jurors. The prosecution will try to convince jurors that Mr. Trump falsified business records in an effort to silence adult film star Stormy Daniels. The defense is expected to take aim at Trump's former lawyer, Michael Cohen, and his credibility.
And try to suggest that Michael Cohen was acting.
Family, buckle your seatbelts, because I'm telling y'all, this is about to be a very interesting week with these closing arguments. Expect the unexpected is what Sister Chayah is going to say in regards to this whole Trump situation. Meanwhile, Mike Tyson suffered a medical emergency on a plane. See, that's why we got to talk about this plane situation. It's a lot going on in the airs.
Mike Tyson's name trending on your timeline right now. According to a report by In Touch Weekly, the boxer suffered from a medical emergency during an American Airlines flight Sunday. Tyson's reps say he became nauseous and dizzy due to an ulcer flare-up 30 minutes before landing. They say he's doing great now and was appreciative of the medical staff that was there to help him when he landed. This all comes as Tyson gets ready to face off against Jake Paul in the ring this summer.
Meanwhile, you know how we used to drop our kids off at the movie cinema and be like, we'll come back in a few hours and get you all. No more of that, family. We're not living in that hour anymore.
And Jennifer, the mother of 3 of those victims, say these girls did not know Revisa. And as far as the situation here, they say they're physically going to be okay, but they are still shaken by what happened at this theater. A police cruiser parked outside the AMC Theater in Braintree this morning, 2 days after 4 girls were stabbed inside the cinema by a suspect police say would later go on to stab 2 McDonald's workers in Plymouth.
They don't want to go to the movies ever again.
Lisa Dembowski's 3 daughters, age 17, and twins age 9, were stabbed along with a friend. Dembowski says the 4 girls were the only ones in the theater when they were attacked.
They had just got their concessions. And I guess he came up behind them in the row. They were like in the second row, and he came up behind them.
In a statement, AMC says they are heartened to learn the victim.
Family, no such thing as dropping your kids off anymore. Anywhere. It's just not safe out here. And for a word of advice, when you do go to the movie theater, do like Brother Joseph and I. Choose your seats all the way at the top where no one is behind you. We've been doing that for years. We just don't feel comfortable with having people be able to come behind us. But, you know, prayers out to that family. Those 4 young women were stabbed by this thugalicious bandit. Yeah, these demons is roaming everywhere. Okay, moving on. We got some news out of California. I don't know what's going on over there in Cali, but a whole bunch. Somebody was running a whole brothel out of a house just in the middle of the neighborhood.
New at 3, a commercial brothel was busted in San Jose following a months-long investigation. Police say they got a tip in November regarding suspicious activity possibly connected to human trafficking at a home on North 16th Street. An investigation was launched, then a 53-year-old was identified as the primary suspect. Detectives got an arrest warrant and arrested him on April 19th. They searched the home and say they found evidence of a commercial brothel. The suspect was booked to the Santa Clara County main jail and then charged with pimping and pandering.
They out here pimping over there in San Jose. I thought that was supposed to be, like Silicon Valley, such a prestigious area where they overcharging for houses over there. I tell you, Big Bear and Sister Judy over there in Cali, holla at your girl, Sister Chayah, about what's going on over there in San Jose. Meanwhile, we got this other senior citizen, thugalicious bandit. Yeah, I see a senior citizen, 81 years old, over here using a slingshot as a weapon in California.
One-year-old man is expected to make his first court appearance tomorrow on charges that he terrorized a Southern California community for years with a slingshot. Police in Azusa say that over the past decade, dozens of people have reported their car windshield or windows being broken out by some metal ball bearings. Some of the shots narrowly missing the victims. Thankfully, no one was hurt. Police say they eventually tracked the incidents down to 81-year-old Prince King. So far, police have no other motive other than that he just wanted to cause mischief.
Did y'all see that name, Prince King? Mr. Prince King, you is not no king whatsoever. You ain't acting kingly. 81 years old and over here shooting cars and attacking stuff with a slingshot. Sounds like he's bored. We need to find you a hobby over there at the senior citizen community. We really do. Meanwhile, let's talk about some of the world news and what's developing with Ukraine, Russia, Taiwan. Got to get you all caught up before we leave out of here on the world news front.
18 people, including a 12-year-old girl, were killed in a Russian strike that hit a large store on Saturday, making it the deadliest attack Ukraine has endured in several weeks. Pictures show the aftermath of the attack. The whole site was immediately taken over by thick smoke and flames. Officials say 48 people were hurt, while nearly 200 people were inside the building.
Yes. Russia strikes Ukraine. Let's go over here to Taiwan.
A high-stakes visit is underway in Taiwan. U.S. lawmakers are meeting with Taiwan's new president and pledging weapons to defend against the threat from China. Taiwan is self-governed, but China claims it as part of its territory. China reacted to President Lai Ching-te's swearing in by moving warships and fighter jets close to Taiwan's shores and warned American leaders not to go to Taiwan. This comes as the U.S. is investing billions of dollars to fortify Taiwan's military with the goal of deterring an attack.
I tell you, family, just so much. Now, let's talk about Mr. Rocket Man, because he over there doing what he do. Y'all know what that is, shooting off rockets everywhere. But I guess he had another mishap with his rockets. Look, Kim Jong-un Yang with a cup of soup on the side and some egg foo young. What's up, really, with all these rocket strikes that you're doing? Because one day, y'all, he going to be successful with one of these. But let's just take a look at what's going on with North Korea. And then Sister Chayah got a message after that.
I want to turn to some developing news we're following today out of North Korea, the country failing to launch its second spy satellite into orbit. South Korea and Japan reported that North Korea launched a missile into the sea. Japan originally issued a shelter alert for people on Okinawa Island. That has since been lifted. North Korea sent a military reconnaissance satellite into orbit last November, and leader Kim Jong-un promised to launch 3 more this year.
All right, family. Well, with all this war going on, I think it's only appropriate that we have a precept of the day in regards to war. I brought this out yesterday for Memorial Day because I thought it was only appropriate that we get some scriptures to back up some of the things that we're seeing in the news. So Sister Chayah is going to leave out with a Melchizedek News precept of the day. How about that, family? This is a message to Mr. Rocket Man, Mr. Biden, and all those that are, you know what I'm saying, putting the world at risk because they can't get along.
Family, this is Sister Chayah the elect with a word of wisdom from the sealed portion, chapter 27, verses 77 and 78. And there have not been a time when there have not existed these wars and rumors of wars according to the desires of Satan. And those of you that shall receive these things shall read of some of the great wars that have existed among the children of men and among the nations of the earth. And there is no such thing as a righteous war. Yes, there is no such thing as a war that was started and blessed by the Father. For behold, God would never command his children to kill one another. But these wars are caused by the God of this world, who is Satan. And it is Satan that have blessed these wars and given power to one nation to destroy another. And that is your Melchizedek News precept of the day.
Absolutely. There is no such thing as a righteous war. I thought that that message was appropriate with everything that's going on. Well, family, that is your Melchizedek News top 7 in 7-ish. That's right, she says 7-ish because you know sometimes Sister Chayah can be a little long-winded, and especially with all these things that are going on in the world, you know, sometimes it just takes a little bit longer to deliver all these important headlines to you. I will be back later on today with Let's Talk, Keep It Real. I want you all to join in so we can talk about some of these headlines and the things that are going on and get some things off of our chest. All right, that's it for now. I will see you all later today. Shalom, family. Real love, real respect. Pray for all.